Okay, good morning, and we are going to get right into section 70. The first half of it is a revelation given to Joseph Smith, Hiram, Ohio, November 12th. Now we knew about the conferences. We've been talking about them. The prophet's history states that four special conferences were held from the first to the 12th of November inclusive. In the last of these assemblies, the great importance of revelations that would later be published in the Book of Commandments and then the Doctrine and Covenants was considered. This revelation was given after the conference voted that the revelations were worth to the church the riches of the whole earth. Joseph's history refers to the revelations as the foundation of the church in the last days and a benefit to the world, showing that the keys of the mysteries of the kingdom of our Savior, are again entrusted to man. So the first part, we get into it, and notice how many times he tells them to hearken and hear in the next couple of verses. Behold and hearken, O ye inhabitants of Zion, and all ye people of my church who are afar off, and hear the word of the Lord, which I give unto my servant Joseph Smith Jr., and then to my servant Martin Harris, and also my servant Oliver Cowdery, and also my servant John Whitmer, and also unto my servant Sidney Rigdon, and also unto my servant William W. Phelps, by way of commandment unto them. So we've got the names of some people who, well, we've heard the name, every one of these names, and read their background a little bit. So it's interesting because some of the names we haven't heard for a while, and they're starting to pop up again. Martin Harris, Oliver Cowdery. Um, these are all names, and even Joseph Smith. Uh, these were a lot in the first Revelations, and now they're popping up again in these. Of course, Oliver Cowdery had been away for a while, and he's just mostly got back just shortly before this, really, from what I understand. Um, so he's speaking by way of commandment. For I give unto them a commandment, wherefore hearken and hear. For thus saith the Lord unto them, I, the Lord, have appointed them and ordained them to be stewards over the revelations and commandments which I have given unto them, which I shall hereafter give unto them. Now in the Come Follow Me manual, they do have a comment on this. The Lord gave certain elders the responsibility to oversee the publishing of the revelations, even though you do not have that specific responsibility. What is your stewardship and responsibility over the revelations and commandments? I like that question. I think what it is we have our stewardship is to learn from them and to use them to become more like Christ and to um, fulfill our own callings. Um, and Come Follow Me shows that chance for us to have that stewardship. Uh, this has been this program of Come Follow Me has been more um, putting the onus on the people to read and study more diligently, and never in my lifetime, and certainly not before my lifetime, um, has there ever been such an opportunity to gain more knowledge and more understanding of uh, the the revelations and the commandments, and also how they came about, what was going on during the time. The history has just opened up more than it ever has before. This morning I was looking at some of the notes of these meetings, um, as they were written, um, because we have the notes, and I've taken pictures of them, and you can find them in the Joseph Smith papers now if you want to actually look at the notes. And a lot of the revelations were there as well in the first manuscripts that they had, and you can look at how they wrote them, maybe where they crossed out something or added something, or different things like that. It just is there. So it's more than we've ever had. So being a steward of this, over the revelations and commandments, also means, if you look at it, well, it's commandments. So what are we commanded to do? Well, I've already mentioned one thing: to hearken and hear. Um, that's the first thing. Um, so let's go on. Um, I'll finish that. I'm going to reread that a little bit. Um, the Lord, have appointed them and ordained them to be stewards over the revelations and commandments which I have given unto them, which I shall hereafter give unto them. Now remember, another place that they use the word stewards, I'm guessing this might go there, but I'm not sure if it will, is when they're talking about um, like the bishops. Well, there's one here, but we haven't even read that yet. But I thought the bishops were stewards, and they gave stewardship over people. The lands that they gave to people and things were stewardships. In fact, down here, I don't think most of these just lead to the topical guide, which I'm not going to go into right now. Okay, so I've given them, hereafter give unto them, and an account of this stewardship, which will, the stewardship will I require of them in the day of judgment. Wherefore I've appointed unto them, and this is their business in the church of God, to manage them, and the concerns thereof, yea, the benefits thereof. So what are they talking about? It sounds like they're talking about getting these commandments, the book of commandments, published. And it seems also um, that they, back then, like when the Book of Mormon was published, they um, they left it to um, individuals to pay for any copies that they had. So you paid, if missionaries brought out copies, they would usually have people buy those copies. Nowadays, it seems almost different. We do buy copies um, of our own, but we also have the missionary fund, and we fund ways for missionaries to have copies of the Book of Mormon, regardless of they don't have to pay for them themselves, and they certainly don't. Um, give them or or sell them to people. Of course, the Doctrine and Covenants and the Bible and things are often a different thing. They usually have to um, buy them themselves. Uh, but I've also seen members of the ward um, putting in their own funds to be able to make sure that a new member has the scriptures in their own hands. But it seems, the church still, you, it costs to do these things, and they usually do it at cost. But this might sound a little bit of a getting off on a tangent, but let's see what it says. So this is their business in the church of God, to manage them and the concerns thereof and the benefits thereof. Wherefore a commandment I give unto them, that they shall not give these things unto the church, neither unto the world. So I wasn't quite sure, and I'm not going to interpret everything on this, but it seems to me, because what these things are seems to be the commandments of God, but then they are to give them to the world. Um, so I go back to what I was saying just now, that it's their business, and somebody's going to have to print. They're going to have to um, live off what they make from the printing, as well as print these. So the money will go towards those things, but also anything that they get should not be given. At least that's how I'm getting it. I read this several times. I haven't seen anything in the regular notes. I might can find something on um, the BYU app, but I'm not going to go that deep. But obviously, they were going to give the Book of Commandments to people. But I think any proceeds that come from it don't just go automatically in the church, but nevertheless, it goes to them that have to deal with it, print it, uh, put it towards making more copies. Um, I think that's a bit what it's talking about there. Nevertheless, inasmuch as they receive more than is needful of their necessities and their wants, because remember, this is their business, it shall be given unto my storehouse. So it's the same principle. Now, this is where you know that they're not just talking about the revelations and not um, give these things or the revelations to the church, but perhaps the money from the sale of the books is that it says, inasmuch as they receive more than is needful for their necessities and their wants. So obviously they're talking about something telestial in nature. I hope that makes sense. I'm just I feel like I'm rambling a little bit, but something as in, um, I shouldn't use those terms because we haven't gotten to them, I guess. But meaning something on the earth, basically, I'm saying, wow, I went on a tangent there, I guess. Basically, I'm just saying that if they receive the monies in, then the monies are for their necessities, and once from the printing of the commandments, and then after whatever they get more than those necessities, then they put it into the storehouse. Oh, that makes sense to you guys. And the benefit shall be consecrated unto the inhabitants of Zion and unto their generations, in as much as they become heirs according to the laws of the kingdom. Behold, this is what the Lord requires every man in his stewardship, even I the Lord have appointed or shall hereafter appoint unto any man. Basically, he's saying they've got a stewardship, and their stewardship is at this point to make sure those revelations and commandments get published, and they need to be supported somehow, and so they'll be supported by the publishment and the sale of the books. This is what I understand. Now, somebody else might say something else and do something else. I do find that sometimes these things um, are not the most important scriptures or whatever, and somebody might come in and just talk about stewardships but not explain. I haven't seen anybody explain these things. I'm sure there's somebody out there, a professor or something, that's got all this explained. But for me, I just understand it that way. But I also understand what it means to be a righteous steward, to um, make sure that your time, your talents, and everything which you're blessed with can be used for the Lord. I think that's where I would go with it, the importance of that stewardship. And with that, I hope you can be a good stewardship over anything that you have in your life and that the Lord's blessed you with. And I hope you have a wonderful day, and we'll see you tomorrow.